Hello, Eric.
Hello, Wood.
We need something. We need a phrase, an intro. Maybe we can turn to the valued viewers at some point to come up with something to start these with.
Hey, that's fine.
I hate that I started this cast by drinking a sip of water straight into the microphone.
I don't know. Something's ajar.
I hate it. I hate you. I hate it. I honestly want to reset. Can we reset?
Wait, so we're live right now?
We're live. This whole thing is live. This is part of the podcast.
Come on, I know. Yeah, look, this is as cold of an open as it gets, folks.
That was so bad. That was like, I thought last week we'd get the kinks out. That was worse. That was so much worse.
Look, just
how is it?
fine.
I honestly, for a second now, I was like, we'll restart. But you know what? I love it.
Just roll it.
Let's keep
it's fine.
it. Let's keep it in.
Look, it's the perks of doing a live internet show live on the internet.
How is your week?
Look, it's fine. I've been really busy. I've got a lot of things that I've been wanting to say. It's funny because you try and like hyper analyze your daily life for things like little T's and B's, tidbits, as they say in the industry.
Literally no one says T's and B's or tidbits.
I don't know about you, but that's me.
Are you being serious? I've never heard that before.
Look, I used an upholstery vacuum for the first time the other day in our car.
Is that why we're starting this?
What do you want? I mean, like...
No, please go on. What is it? What's an upholstery vacuum?
An upholstery vacuum is like a wet vacuum. It like shoots all this water out and sucks it up to get all stains out of like your car seat and everything. I mean, because look, having a toddler in our car, he's absolutely trashed it with like food bits and things and whatever.
Why are you giving him food in the car?
You have to look. You have to keep a child entertained. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you got like Happy Meals. You got like the crunchy bits of fries from the bottom of the bag, all wedged in the cushions and the seats, and
look, not quite. What his go-to thing is they're like edible puffs. Like just imagine like a cheese curl or something like that. I'm sure you're familiar with those now that you live in the U.S. Look, these little airy puffs that like have a little bit of flavor on them, a little bit of crunch. He loves them, but they get absolutely everywhere.
It sounds like you're digging into his little baby snacks.
Hey, they taste pretty good. Whatever. Enough about me and my stupid upholstery vacuum.
No, I want to know, like, what was the point? Is it good? Should I consider picking one of these up?
No, don't pick one up. So, like, when you go to a car wash, you know how they have the vacuum you can put in like $1 or $2.
Yeah. I actually went to that the other day. Sorry, I'm interrupting, but every time I go to those, it literally rains the same day. Like, I am cursed. Like, you know how people do rain dances to make it rain? If anyone in Texas ever needs it to rain, just shoot me a tweet. I'll go clean my car. It happens every single time.
You know, same thing for me. I don't clean my car as often as I should. I mean, look, we've got a brand new 2019 Ford Escape. So, like, we are, as far as I'm concerned, high rollers.
Must be very nice.
We have a nice family car. So we upgraded our car seat. So I wanted to take everything out of the car, clean it out, have a nice fresh car, a dad mobile, as it were. You know.
So you got the wet vac. The wet vac works well. Should I invest in a wet? Do you have any? What's the brand? Do you recommend I buy one of these Amazon Prime?
I mean, look, no, no, don't buy one. You can rent one from like Home Depot or something like that.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I will rent a wet vac and I'll let you know next week how that went for me.
Look, I really want to apologize for talking about.
You think I'm kidding? I am going to get a wet vac for the next episode. Look, let's talk about the last episode really quick.
Okay, yes.
Because I don't want to
get away from this.
I don't want to pull a handbrake and talk about last week before moving into this week because we have a lot planned for this week. But I do want to thank everyone that watched last week, that supported, that bought the merch. I seen a lot of people tweeting at me the mug. They bought the mug. By the way, this mug, it's like a Viking mug. It's like what do they call those big Viking cups? Chalice?
A chalice, yes.
Yeah, it's like a big Viking chalice, like a huge handle. It's too big. Like, if you were to fill that thing up with coffee, you'd probably have a heart attack from too much caffeine. Like, this is a big mug. And as of yet, nobody has found the gold mug, the one of its kind gold mug that allows you to come on this show that I know of, because nobody's tweeted me the gold mug, and you would think they'd be
Not
pretty
yet.
excited about that. What
Hey,
if someone got it and they were like, "Oh, I don't really want to go on the show. I'll
look,
just
that's
keep
probably
this
bound to happen, but
over here quietly."
we'll never go on the program, and it'll be lost in time forever.
Will we give another one? If no one ever claims it and we had sent it out, do we send out another one?
I mean, why not? I mean, give it maybe a couple of weeks.
Two of its kind, but only one of its kind appreciated.
No, maybe we do like a silver mug or a bronze or a platinum. Or
I just don't like the idea of the gold mug sitting on someone's shelf and not being appreciated and loved.
I mean, it'll probably show up at a Goodwill or something, or a Value Village somewhere.
I have actually had that happen. I've had people tweet me my merch at like op shops and Goodwills, which is so surreal to me. Like, I mean, I guess good, right? Like, someone didn't want it anymore and they gave it to charity. Like, I guess good, but it's just weird to see that charity then trying to sell my merch. Like, who is buying that at a, like, that is such a unique and specific thing to go into a Goodwill. Like, I hope I find some of Beat 'em Up's merch today. That would be great. If I could get that for $2 rather than $15, that'd be a great day.
As they said on The Lion King, that's the circle of life.
You know, I'm moving on.
Please.
I'm not even.
Please. We need to get extremely far away from this. This started so poorly.
It really did, but at the same time, I love it. Hey, you know the
fine.
valued viewer form? That people
Yes,
can
I do
fill
know
out
the
to
valued
become
viewer
a
form.
valued viewer, of which we are calling some people today. Did you figure out the prize? Because we spoke about sending Ariana a prize. Do you have it?
Look, put it this way, I've had some sleepless nights thinking about what do we send our valued viewers. You know, we really want to send something to make our viewers feel valued. So what do we send? I mean, we've got certificates. We can send them a certificate of authenticity with like,
I like
an
that,
embossed
but is
logo.
there anything that we can like ramp up and do that like other people aren't doing? Anything like really special?
Okay, friendship bracelets.
I love that. I do love that. Are you making the bracelets, or do we make? Who makes the bracelets in that scenario? Are we sitting up weaving friendship bracelets?
I don't have the time for that.
I do love the idea. I thought of something. Certificates are great, and I feel like anyone could do them, but something that might be a little bit, that extra level of special is, what if you not only could get a certificate and not only appreciate the fact you were on the show with an official certificate, but if you were hungry, you needed a quick snack, you could eat the certificate. Now, clearly you wouldn't want to eat paper, but what if we sent out edible paper certificates that people could frame if they wanted to keep, or if they're hungry, they could eat?
You know, that sounds like it's so good that my tummy is starting to grumble right now at the thought of eating a certificate.
Would there be any guidelines there we'd have to abide by, like sending out food, technically a food product?
I mean, you'd probably have to select the option for like a gluten-free certificate or something like that, because everybody's on that now.
A gluten-free option for our certificate.
Or you could go just the extreme opposite, non-edible end, and go to like our participation trophy, like the trophies I used to win when I was in school.
Sorry, I can't get over the idea of like someone winning a prize on our show and us asking, now look, we are going to send you out a certificate. We just need to know if you would like the vegan or non-vegan option.
Hey, that's just the way that we roll.
Trophies is great too. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid and I used to play like footy, we would get these like trophies if we won or if we participated. And there were these really easy to mock up, like just these like gold plastic. It was supposed to look like gold or metal, but there were these plastic horrible statues of a guy with a football just holding it, like about to kick it, and you could get them for like 10 cents each and just write a name on the plate, like, yeah, you played football. You were on the show.
It's so funny because like imagine if we bulk bought trophies like of some guy like doing like a baseball, like hitting a home run, but it's just like a plaque that has somebody's name written in Sharpie on it. Like, it's so discount, it's not even funny.
I like that. Okay, I like that. I think it's more practical than edible stuff. Wait, what if the trophy was made of chocolate?
Well, they'll probably melt, but whatever.
Let's get away from the edible. Maybe we either do the trophy or the certificate. I feel like the certificate might be an easy jumping on point. We can have them numbered. So you'd have a number, and you could easily put people's names on there and then what they won, like how they won on the show, and then mail them out with a simple, easy, cheap 50-cent stamp from USPS. It's not setting the show back an arm and a leg.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just kidding.
I think we got it. I think we'll do certificates. So you figure that out.
I'll figure all the logistics of that. I mean, realistically, what we'll probably do, as we discussed, to be real and candid, is I'll get a bunch of certificates made up here. I'll sign them because everybody wants my signature, of course. Mail them to you from the land down under. And then you sign them.
And then I sign them, and then I will then mail them out.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll roll with something like that.
That's a lengthy process, but I like it. We'll do that.
Yes, please.
Let's get the show going.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, we probably should have tied this into the first part, but let's talk about something that made me chuckle. So, during the week, I'm on for my YouTube side of things, I'm on an MCN, which is a whole thing to explain, but essentially I have a manager who helps me figure out my channel and helps me do a lot of things, actually. And something my manager, whose name is Kristen, and she's wonderful and has helped me so much in my career, she's just out of nowhere, out of the blue, decided to just put all our stuff out for us. She did it on iTunes. She got it on Spotify.
Thank you.
She helps us with the YouTube channel, and she even made us a website. And this came out of nowhere. Like, a website just popped up, and she linked me to it, and she's like, here's your new website. They even took our logo that I had made and changed it to fit a banner, and I actually prefer the logo they made for the show. I might just move and start using that one. The website's address. Have you seen it?
Look, I may have taken a cheeky gander or two at the website. So, but please elaborate.
Well, okay, when you get a website, you know, you want people to be able to find it easily. So you want it to at least be named after what, you know, the show is. And I was actually surprised to find out that our domain has everything's taken. And it's the start of it. And I was like, oh, that's funny. You would think that out of, you know, the whole joke of it is that everything was taken. So you would think the domain for everything is taken might be taken. But then I realized, Erek, it doesn't end in .com.
Tell me, what is it? Is it .org?
No, we're not a charity. Well, I mean,
I don't know.
It ends in .net.
.net?
.net. I don't... Okay, maybe this is just me, but when I think official, I think .com. I think when I see .com, I'm like, all right, that's an official. If I see everything's taken .net, one or two things here. One, it's cheaper. Or two, everything's taken podcast and everything's taken.com were actually taken. And I want to find out what happened here. So if it's okay with you, I would like to call Kristen and ask her if everything's taken.com was taken or if there's another reason why it's .net.
We need to get to the bottom of this right now. Get her on the phone. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. You know, doing what I would do any Tuesday night and watching your podcast live on Twitch.
I know. You are such a big supporter of me, and I really appreciate it. We've been working together with like YouTube and my channel since I was, like 1,000 subs or something. But I need to ask, why is our website everythingstaken.net and not .com?
So it was a journey, okay? You know, naturally when you're looking for domains, you see what's taken and everything's taken, okay, haha.
Yeah, everything is taken.
So I was thinking, exactly. So, I mean, I thought of ET podcast, and then that's not the direction you guys are going in. So that wasn't
That
quite
is true. We're trying to move away from the everything's taken part and focus on the Erek and Wood part.
But then that's kind of clunky. You don't want to make it too long. You know, Wood and Erek podcast. No, too long. So, you know, I thought it would be kind of funny that everything's taken.com sounds too normal. A little play on it.net. It was available. I went for it.
Wait.
I thought it would be funny.
Wait, so .com was available?
No.
Oh.
No?
It was
okay.
It was available, but it was parked, but they wanted $4,000 for it.
Oh God!
Ridiculous.
No. So it was
way.
so everything.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but somewhere about there.
Everythingstaken.com and everythingstakenpodcast.com were both taken, so we landed on .net.
Yeah, I thought it would be funny. I told you I'm not funny.
Look, I think it's quite funny because there's irony when we did the name initially, everything's taken because all the names were taken. Now somebody's bought the domain for .com. So again, the circle of life. Unless one of our valued viewers scalped the .com.
I wouldn't be surprised because woodhawker.com is taken and beatemups. Well, that one's obviously taken, but all my variations were taken. So I think my separate website is .net or .com or something with the word official in it. I can't even remember. Kristen, you did amazing, and I can't say thank you enough for everything you did. I just couldn't help but laugh and wonder if everythingstaken.com was actually taken. And ironically, or not so ironically, it was taken.
So how about this? If you make it to 100 episodes, I will try to reach out to the person who owns everythingstaken.com, and I will make them an offer.
Oh, there's an incentive to actually do this for 100 weeks.
Okay. Maybe we can get our website.
Bet. You are on, Kristen. I can't wait. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate you.
Thanks for your help.
Okay, there you go. Well, all we got to do.
That answers that.
All we got to do if we want to look official and not like some budget podcast is make it to 100 episodes.
As our intern alluded to in our pre-show, which is just us getting on,
just us talking for a little bit, yeah.
just us talking for a little bit. Mm-hmm. He said basically right now, he said we're at the Kmart level, but I wouldn't even say that. We're at the Dollar Tree level right now.
It's not a good level. It's not a good feeling. I don't like typing in .net when I want to look it up, but if you guys want to laugh, because apparently it's hilarious, go to everythingstaken.net and you can listen to the podcast on the site. You can also find links to Spotify and iTunes, all thanks to Kristen, who you just heard in the call. And with that, Erek, you have a story to tell, so let's get into it. You made so many little jingles that I can play when we go to those cuts, but I always panic and just hit the big intro button. This is my favorite one, and I've never actually used it.
Please use it.
It's so good, dude. That bass, huh?
Yeah, I know.
It's so good. Next transition, I am going to use that one, okay?
Okay, so for everybody at home, the title of that little jingle is called "Go Funk Yourself" because it's just it just makes you want to get up and as we used to do in the 70s. Boogie.
F-U-N-K for those playing at home. F-U-N-K. Erek,
anyway,
don't you love sugar?
Look, I love sugar. I'm actually quite partial to sugary goods and pastry goods.
Even a better spice than sugar. Sugar's not a spice. But do you know what's even a better spice than sugar?
What's that? Tell me.
Cinnamon.
Right. Look, for this part of the program, I've got a really great story to tell.
All I can see is yet again Erek Cinnamon Scroll Conundrum, and I
look. Okay, do you want me to go straight for the jugular and tell you the story? Do you want me to set it up a little bit?
Warm me up. I love a good warm up.
Let me make the dough and put you in the oven before we eat you. Okay, whatever. Anyway, look, I love cinnamon rolls, cinnamon buns. In Australia, they're called cinnamon scrolls.
Yeah, which is weird.
It's really weird. I first found out about the cinnamon scroll, the cinnamon bun, cinnamon roll from McDonald's back in my early pre-teens. I used to go to McDonald's and get the number 6 crispy with cheese and a cinnamon melt.
Does anybody you remember the number?
How do you forget?
That is so American. We don't have numbers in Australia. Have you noticed that? Or have you started doing that over there now?
I actually made the mistake. There's this place that we go to every now and again. It's called the Front Beach in Torquay, Victoria. You can go get bagels and coffee. They have like different types of bagels, but they're numbered.
Everything bagel?
No, everything bagel was taken. Just kidding.
Do you think we can figure out kind of like a collaboration with them? And
so, yeah, maybe we can get sponsored or something.
Special discount for the viewers that listen.
So the number one bagel is like the scrambled eggs, cheese, avocado. So like I went in there once and I was like, oh, I'll just get a number one. And I was like, oh wait, nobody's gonna know. And they're gonna think this guy is so red, white, and blue. It's not even funny.
Did you get your bagel? Did he know what you meant?
Yeah, he knew what I meant. Like they had to turn around and look at the sign. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's the
the first one on the menu. Oh, yep, yeah, got you.
Okay, I get you. Number one. So look, I love cinnamon melts. Rest in peace. McDonald's no longer carries them, so pretty much I have no reason to go back to the U.S. But anyway, I love cinnamon melts, cinnamon buns. When I found out there was a local cafe near me doing the equivalent of a cinnamon bun, which is called a cinnamon scroll, boy, my mouth started to water. So if you want to pull up a photo, I'll pull it up as well here. The local cafe was running a competition for the best joke to win a cinnamon scroll. And of course, I've got to enter it. So I'm going to read it out for you viewers here. So ready to rock and scroll. Not a fan? Keep scrolling. Dem buns dough. Best scroll pun wins a scroll. So of course I enter. So this is on Instagram, by the way, if you guys want to give me a cheeky follow. My comment was, what happens when a Cinnamon and a Cinnawoman fall in love? They have a doughboy.
I hope to God this story is going somewhere. Did you win?
I never got.
Oh no!
They never reached out to me. There was only like 2 other comments on the Instagram post, and they were all like, "It'd be a sin not to win the scroll." It's like it's not even funny.
Wait. Who won?
I don't know. They never announced the winner. They never did anything.
What?
I've walked by there. I'm waiting for them to notice me and be like, "Hey, it's that guy from that show. Let's get him. Let's get him in here and get a scroll. Send a cinnamon scroll."
Hold on. Back all the way up here. How long ago was this?
This was last week. This was the day after the show.
And they've never announced a winner?
No, they have not announced the winner. So that's something that we need to work on.
This is a store near you, right?
Yeah, this is a store in my proximity.
You want to call them?
Oh boy.
I'll call him if you want. I will. If you get the number, we didn't plan this, but I can call him if you want.
All right. Oh boy. This is bad because for the uninitiated, my wife's name is Amber. So Amber and I were talking about this the other day. She's like, "Do not call them because we could never go there again."
I will call them. And I won't allude to you at all. I will just ask if the winner from the post was ever announced.
Okay. That's all you need to do.
Why can my call not be completed as dialed? Well, we will figure out a way to call them next week. If they haven't...
We're going to get to the bottom.
You know what? I'm calling you out right now. Should I say their name?
I don't know. That's a bit dicey.
I mean, it's publicity for them, right?
I mean, technically, yeah, it would be, but that also implies that people have to be within regional Victoria.
Look,
all right. The intern's going to try one more thing really quickly, and then maybe we'll wrap this segment up and turn it into a nice little cinnamon bun.
If he can't get this in the next few seconds, which I couldn't get it, then we will give them 1 week to pick a winner.
To respond.
If they haven't picked a winner in a week's time, that is 2 weeks. No, he couldn't get a hold of it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to name them yet because the offense has not gone on long enough for it to be a criminal offense. It is just a questionable offense. So we will give them here 1 week before it becomes a criminal offense, and we will call them next week and get an answer.
We've got cinnamon scroll debt to collect.
This is not on. Quite frankly, I am upset and I am hurt on your behalf, which is how most of the internet works these days. So it's
pretty.
It's just part of the culture, really. All right, should we move on?
Yes, please.
It's so jazzy. I love it. It's so good.
It's so good. Just want to listen to it all day.
All right. Speaking of calling, let's actually call some people that will hopefully pick up this time. This part of the show, as Erek likes to say. In fact, this was actually your idea, so I'll let you lead the charge on this one.
Yeah, look, So there's a lot of people that filled out our valued viewer form, and again, thank you. And please make sure you fill out the valued viewer form because we've pretty much exhausted all of our options for people to contact.
Be found on the website everythingstaken.net.
Because nothing instills trust like .net.
Put all your personal information, your phone numbers, your email addresses on the .net website. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So look, the valued viewer form, we've had a lot of people put some cool stuff in there, little great stories that we've been able to read, but can't read on the program. A lot of people have left cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Because there's a section of the form that says, do you have any true embarrassing stories that you'd like to tell? And some people, most of them were, I pooped my pants. Like that's 90% of them.
Oh my God. Every other story, if not every other 1 isn't a pooped my pants story. It's all poop, diarrhea, if I can be as bold as to use the word here live on Twitch. It's all farting. It's all like everyone's embarrassed. Y'all ain't funny. I'm sorry to tell you. Erek was laughing and giggling and having a blast, I will say, but I was so disappointed going through and reading everyone's embarrassing stories always has something to do with poop. So yep. I guess what we're trying to do right now is call people, put them on the spot for their funny stories, and just hope and pray that it's not about poop.
Yes. So a lot of people said some really great stuff that we want to follow up on. But as I alluded to, there was a lot of cliffhangers. So they pretty much are prompting for us to cold call them live on the program. So hopefully we can get one of our few chosen people to pick up and tell us some funny and embarrassing true stories.
Yeah, by the way, these people said you have to call us to get the rest of the story, or like we're holding the story at ransom until you call us. So, they want to be called. We're putting them on the spot because they asked for this. But before we start calling,
please.
Calling. We're gonna call you. Calling. Out of the
blue. Jacob said that he's got some cliffhangers. Well, he wanted to leave us on a cliffhanger for some of his stories.
So this is a story at ransom.
Yeah, I want to know what he's got to say. Hey, Jacob, you're live on air.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, there you are. Hey, we wanted to ask you, on the valued viewer form you filled out, by the way, hi, Wood and Erek here from the Everything's Taken podcast.
Hey, how are you?
How you guys doing, guys? Man, it's awesome to meet you.
Thank you so much for filling out the form. You did not expect this call today, did you?
No, I did not.
Well, good, because we're about to put you on the spot, because you wrote on your form you have an embarrassing story, but you're leaving it on a cliffhanger, and you won't give it to us unless we call you. So here we are. Jacob, take it away. What's your embarrassing story?
What is it?
Okay, let's, which one's the best one to go with? Okay, so I raced motocross most of my life.
You are an exciting human so far.
Cool.
So I was big into it when I was in my teens. I was 15 at the time, and I was racing in a Pro-Am. The pros raced on Saturday, we raced on Sunday type of thing. So I was there on Sunday, obviously. But so all the sponsors were still there. I was sitting around on Saturday waiting to try to get a sponsor. So I ran up on one of the biggest sponsors, said, "Hey, come watch me Sunday. My number's this, my name's this, blah, blah, blah." And that day they came up, they were sitting front row, right up where the first corner was. Took off, I was in first place around the corner, hit that first jump, ran right into the wall, right in front of them. Damn. And as I went up to grab my bike, they gave me a thumbs down on the sponsorship.
Oh no! That's like a big Caesar, like they did the whole.
And rode home. I didn't even finish the race, bro. I just rode back to my pit and cried.
Dude, the thumbs down. Oh my God. Was it like Caesar when he'd stick his thumb out in the Coliseum and you weren't sure which way he was going to go? And
it literally felt like that. It felt like Joaquin Phoenix was staring at me right now. I didn't know how to feel about it.
That's so mean.
Thank you guys for letting me hop on. Beat 'em ups. I love you, man. I love all your stuff. You are an amazing person. Keep up everything you're doing. You're amazing.
Hey, Jacob, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Of course. You guys have a great night. Keep up the podcast, man. I'm going to watch every night, all right?
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right. That was a very heartbreaking story.
I love Jacob. I love that he watches the podcast every night. Just the same one over and over, seven days a week. Hey, we need the views.
That good, folks. I used to do cold calling as a job. Actually, it was soul sucking.
No, Kim tried to do it one day and she quit. She was out. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
No,
I never even whenever I was looking at jobs, it always came up as a job. But I just skim right over it. The closest thing I did was I tried doing this job once where you had to stand in a mall at those one of those booths and be one of those people that were like, "Hey, you got a quick second? So I asked you a couple of minutes for a quick question." They always wanted me to say, "Hey, I got a quick question. You got a couple of seconds for a quick question?" But it was never a quick question. Like if you walk past anyone that go, "Hey, I got a quick question," it's never a quick question. And if it is, it's something like, "Hey, do you have AT&T yet?" And then no matter what you say, you're gonna get barraged with a billion more questions. You could literally be like, "Yes, I have AT&T in my house right now. Best service. Nothing I can upgrade to. Nothing I can do. It's perfect."
That's why. I cut cable a long time ago. I don't even have cable.
I don't have cable anymore. It was a waste.
Yeah, let's try and call. Let's see. The last person we have on our list here for cold calling is Victoria. She is a dog groomer. Now, while she didn't say she has any funny stories, you know what? I want to learn more about dog grooming.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of noisy dogs in my suburbia neighborhood here, and I think maybe they could use a little bit of a trim, shampoo.
I will call on this totally legit calling service that I have right here. That isn't just a big button that makes a dialing sound.
Victoria, you're live on air here.
Oh my gosh. Hello?
Hello. Hi, Victoria.
Oh my gosh. Hi.
Thank you.
Like, my heart is like racing right now.
Just you answered the phone, and that's all we can ask from you right now.
Thank you for answering.
How are you?
I'm literally watching. Oh my gosh, I'm so good.
Have you, by chance, have you groomed any dogs today?
I actually did. I worked today. Yeah.
Nice. Well, any kind of dogs in particular?
I actually groomed 3 different dogs today. I had this little cute like Maltipoo, a Labradoodle that's quite large, and then a Yorkie poo. Which is like a Yorkie and a poodle.
Sorry, I'm not versed in my dogs. What are these poo dogs?
Oh, poodle. There's these things called like designer breeds, and they're like mixed breeds of 2 different dogs, and they have like a fancy like made up name that people make it but like more bougie than it really is.
Poodle is part of it, right? There's half of it is poodle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like a Maltipoo is a Maltese and a poodle, and a Labradoodle.
You couldn't have gone with like multi-dual or something. Like, did you have to go the Maltipoo?
Hey, look, when you started saying poo, I was like, this better not be another like pooping pants.
Yeah, we've already had so many stories written in about poop and poo. I don't think this qualifies. But did Victoria have a funny story, Erek?
No, look, you did. I can't remember exactly what you put in your funny, true, embarrassing story, but I really, the dog grooming thing just kind of, I don't know, just spoke to me. So have you ever had any rough days at work, like, some embarrassing or funny stories that happen as dog grooming?
Oh yes, definitely a lot of because they're animals, so a lot of them are either like gross, which I know y'all would definitely like tired of the whole pooping thing. I know I've had sometimes where
poo. It's always about poo.
But it was funny because I was like, man, I should like rewrite my form, because I was sitting there thinking of like embarrassing stuff that's happened to me, like without being gross. And so I actually had thought of things like that didn't have to do with dog grooming that I find kind of embarrassing.
Go for it, because the whole point of this is to try and call people that have funny and interesting stories that aren't related about poop, and somehow calling you on a whim of dog grooming has led us down the avenue of more poop stories. So if you can take us anywhere else,
please.
So I'm like a super klutzy person, and like I literally trip over absolutely nothing. Like I roll my ankle all the time, and it's nothing horrible bad, but it like stings for a little bit. And I had one of my first jobs. I was a waitress at Waffle House. So it's kind of funny that WH with the wood.
Hey, yeah. I love Waffle House.
But I used to work overnight, or like sometimes I'd get off at like 2 p.m. Or 2 a.m. And there was always a gas station like right down the road, a Quick Trip, that I would usually stop at to like get something other than Waffle House food, because working there, you kind of don't want to eat it.
I get that, yeah. I used to work at McDonald's, and it was the last thing I wanted to eat.
But I actually knew I was super klutzy, and with Waffle House, they have the floors in the back are usually wet because they have to clean them, and stuff always ends up on the floor, so they're always constantly spraying down the floor, so they're wet. So I have slip-resistant shoes, and I actually got like boots that cover over my ankles, so that way I wouldn't roll it. And it's funny, so I wasn't even at work, and I go to Quick Trip. And I like go in there and do my shopping, and I had a friend with me, like a guy, and I like kind of was crushing on him. So we were just like hanging out, and like I get my stuff from the gas station, and I don't know if you've ever like, you step off a curb and sometimes like you just like hop down. Well, I hop down and my ankle just rolls out of nowhere, and I'm like, and I like fall on top of my car. I have like a little sedan Ford Taurus, and I just like fall on top of it, and this guy, he's like laughing at me because it's like obviously funny, like he doesn't think it's serious, because I was like, oh my gosh, like ow. And then I was sitting there and I got in the car and I was like, I was like, because usually it like stings a little bit but nothing too bad, but then I quickly realized it was a lot worse.
Oh wow. Let me interject really quickly, because what I'm about to say is the most important part of this segment.
Okay.
So when you fell, was it a Quick Trip?
I guess.
I gotta give you that one. I gotta give you that one. That was actually really good. I didn't even see that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, because we had rode there together, and then I was like, well, I gotta get home, because I was like, my ankle hurt. I took off my boot after he left, because I didn't want to take it off with him in the car, because I had just worked like, I don't know, like 9 hours or something, so my feet were, I'm sure, pretty rank. So I waited for him, like took him back to his car so he'd leave, and I took it off. It immediately swelled up. It was like twice its size, completely purple, and I was like,
that sounds broken.
That's awful.
I'm gonna have to call out of work. So I waited for the manager so she could see, so I wasn't making it up, and I'm literally like hobbling in there. I'm like, I can't work tonight, I'm really sorry. It was awful.
Well, sorry that we're laughing at your misfortune, but that's
funny now.
I don't think anything will top the Quick Trip joke. All right.
That was pretty good.
Well, thank you for calling in with the story. I'm glad we I find it funny that we went from dog grooming to a Quick Trip. You are a great caller. Thank you so much for actually answering the phone. All right.
Oh, thank you. And I just really quick, I just want to say, love what y'all are doing. I'm having a blast watching you guys, and it's just really awesome that you're incorporating us, so the fans. So it's really cool. Thank you so much.
I'm having a blast as well. I love doing this so much, and thank you again. I appreciate you.
Yes, lots of fun. Thanks for taking the call.
Bye.
Thank you. Sorry. Bye.
See ya. Whenever anybody says anything, my brain immediately goes to
I don't know how you do it. This was so much of our friendship early on, is you coming up with these dad jokes, and I used to be good at them. I used to be better at them, and we would go toe for toe with these dad jokes. You'd always beat me. You'd always come up with the last one, but it was just something about you that I fell in love with.
Look, it's no surprise that I would beat him up about your dad jokes. So, hey, whatever.
I just gave you such a glowing review, and you destroyed it in one joke.
You built me up for me to break you down.
Speaking of first getting to know each other, how about we go do this? Bye.
I've known you for almost
too long.
10 years.
Too long. It has not been a quick trip. I'll tell you that much. No, I've known you like 5-6 years, something like that.
7 years.
7, 8, 9 years, something like that. Back 9. In the 70s. I don't even.
one of our favorite memories of our friendship in its infancy stage, was everybody remembers PAX conventions, like gaming conventions, those things, those fun things that we used to be able to do with our physical beings.
Back when we got hotel rooms together and put roses on the bed at the end of a long con.
It's funny because that actually happened to you, did it not?
Did not do what? With who?
What are you talking about?
I honestly don't know what you're talking about. You left roses on my bed?
Anyway, that's a story for another time. So you and your good friend Chris.
Yeah, my good friend Chris. Yeah, I know where this is going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you drove 8 hours from Adelaide to where I was at that point in time.
Yeah. So this is going back that before mentioned 7 or 8 years ago now. We drove down 8 hours to you, but we went in Chris's car. And Chris's car, I don't know, was it an old Datsun? It was a
white Datsun or something.
It was a white Datsun something made in the 70s, but with parts from the 30s. Like, it was falling apart like before the drive.
A good friend of mine used to describe cars. This thing was clapped out. This thing was like ready to just fall apart.
It's honestly one of the highlights from that old show I used to do on YouTube called The Game Quest, was that car dying in the episode that you were in, and Chris having a meltdown and kicking the car and freaking, and I was just sat there eating these like fruit chocks, which, by the way, love fruit chocks, miss fruit chocks, and you send some over. They are so good. And I'm just there like munching them down with a big smile on my face, loving the footage.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh my God. But we were stuck out there in the middle of nowhere until nightfall. Until
I and my aforementioned, girlfriend at the time, wife now, Amber, her and I, we drove a half an hour down through regional country Victoria, Australia, to come and rescue you. But what were we dressed as? What would you please tell us?
I actually have a clip if you want me to play it.
Roll the clip.
So myself and my girlfriend, dressed as Superman and Superwoman, coming straight from a Halloween party, we arrived after about an hour's worth of driving to rescue a shirtless Wood and a very, very frustrated Chris.
Hello, Crossroads, Erek.
Hi.
Hello, Amber. Thank you for coming and saving us.
We were stuck there for a long time, too. We were there until night.
I love how you've come to save us in Superman outfits.
It's very fitting.
You really have saved the day.
You were dressed as Superman and Supergirl to come and save me.
We were in the middle of like a Halloween costume party.
Yeah,
or something
I guess it
like
was
that.
Halloween.
Yeah,
you would hope so, unless you were just hanging about roses on the bed and a couple of superhero outfits.
I don't know. What?
I just try to tie the stories back together. But that was definitely the start of our friendship blossoming, the time that you came and saved me dressed as Superman. But there was something else around that time that we really resonated with, and it carried over to be this long-running joke between the two of us. It really solidified our entire friendship, and it was a little something that was just a few words, and those words were fist bumps only.
Fist bumps only. Put her there, man.
Fist bumps only. Let's go. Fist bumps only.
It was fun. It was funny because in today's day and age, like nobody's shaking hands anymore. Shaking hands is a thing of the past, folks. This guy was
we got to backtrack a little bit here.
Yeah,
let me set this up. So we were going to meet a friend in Melbourne. We'd never met this friend before, and this friend was bringing along another friend. So Erek and I walked into this situation, and the one friend we hug, it's the first time we've ever seen this friend in person, so it's this big celebratory moment. And then this friend turns to the other friend and introduces us to them and says that this is this person. And both Erek and I go to extend our hands to shake this person's hand. Now, this was before COVID, as Erek was alluding to. This was before viruses and all of this. And in retrospect, there's a certain way to look at it. But this person had already been very off and very standoffish. It didn't seem like he wanted to be in they wanted to be in the situation. And as soon as we extended our hands out, he had this they had this attitude of just no, like he was grossed out by it. Like looked at us like we were wrong in the head.
Filth.
And just
Scum of the earth.
And just went, I don't shake hands, fist bumps only. And I like in the moment we looked at each other and it was so obvious. Like, we just went and we both just bumped the fist. I don't think that guy said another word the entire time we were hanging out with him. The only thing we ever heard him say in person was fist bumps only. So we just ran with it.
Such a running joke between us. Like if it's an awkward silence or, you know, we haven't messaged each other in a couple of weeks, it's like somebody will just type fist bumps only.
Fist bumps only. It's also like a goodbye as well. Like if we're like signing off or logging off, like, all right, bye. Yeah, I'll see you next day. Yeah, fist bumps only. Fist bumps only.
It was just one of those situations. It's hard to describe. Like you really had to have been there.
Yeah, you really.
But the way that this conversation transpired, it's like, you and I both, we just looked at each other. It was like,
it came across so rude. But again, looking back at the situation, you know, he was going to a con. And to be fair, like at the con, yeah, I get it. You don't want to be shaking a bunch of people's hands. But we weren't at the con. We were in the city. We met up on the street. It was me, you, our friend, and him.
We were just two handsome gentlemen gallivanting around Melbourne, or Melbourne, as some people say. So, I mean...
Anyway, fist bumps only!
Fist bumps only.
I was trying so hard not to name anyone.
You did well right up until
I did well right up until the end.
It's fine. Nobody heard it. We're not broadcasting.
We're cutting that out. That's the benefits of watching it live.
It's just funny. This long time running joke has just defined our friendship to the point that we'll probably just only give fist bumps from now on.
Fist bumps only. You know something else we did, and I have clips of that too that weekend. But do you remember? We got like a lot of games. This was back when I used to talk about games, and I used to have a show all about buying and finding retro video games. And do you remember? And I'm gonna be attacking you and hitting you with something here real quick because I have a feeling I stumbled on something you may have forgot about.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you a couple of clips. To begin with, I'm gonna show you this clip of me at this person's house. Their name is Stefano, buying some video games. And he said 20 a piece, so you can't go wrong with that.
This stuff and the games, didn't I say 50 for this stuff before?
Yeah.
$100.
So all this stuff on the couch, plus the 3 NES games boxed. He throws 100 at me.
Giving you broke prices here.
I'd have to give you money.
I'm giving you mates rates.
Okay, now that you've heard that in clarity, I'm gonna show you this clip.
All for $20, which is an incredible deal.
We'll do the deal.
Maybe I should put my power glove on for the
Put
deal.
the power glove on.
Fist bumps only?
Fist bumps only.
Fist bumps only. Handshakes? No. Fist bumps
Fist
only.
bumps only. Fist bumps only. As I said, I like how even back then, like, that was a couple of days after it happened, and you can tell we had already latched onto that, and it was in the video. But that's not what I was trying to pull attention to, as funny as that is. What I wanted to bring up to you, and I don't know if you've thought about this in a long time, but I bought $400 worth of stuff from Stefano and paid $100. You bought $130 worth of stuff, and I think it was what, like, I can't even remember.
30 bucks.
It was on the screen.
Like,
yeah. Eric, did you ever pay Stefano?
You know, that's a great question. And again, like everything else we talk about on this program, I've lost a lot of sleep about it.
Eric, I never paid Stefano.
I can't remember if I did either.
You said to me we should talk about PAX this episode, and I brought up the old episodes, and I just happened to watch them, and as soon as I saw us in his house, it hit me. I never gave him that $100. I took almost $500 worth of stuff out of it. I robbed that man and fled the country.
We went into this guy's family home, and we robbed him blind.
You never paid him either. We took all of this stuff. He was so nice, so generous, gave us a great price, and we never paid him. And I tried so hard. We tried so hard to get him on the show this week. But he's a busy man. He's at work all the time, probably trying to recoup the loss from the two people that came and robbed him 5 years ago.
He's never been able to recover financially since we stole these things from his game.
I want to really try and get him on the show next week so that we can finally pay and settle this debt that I apparently have had hanging over my head for like it's probably realistically like 6 or 7 years.
Yep.
All right, well we got to get him on the show.
Stay tuned, folks.
Fist bumps only.
Fist bumps only.
Are we done? Are we out?
I think that's it.
All right, we'll see you guys in the post show if you're watching live. Thanks for watching the cast, and we will see you next week. Love you guys.
Back to you guys.